Hey, what's up, guys? It's Thrasher, and today I got a story about the time I took the heroic dose of mushrooms plus a little bit extra. So, this story actually takes place like a week ago. And so, I was dog sitting for my uncle, and so I had the entire house to myself for the weekend, so I invited my girlfriend over. I started by weighing the 5 grams out equally with one cap for each stem. Then I lined them up from smallest to biggest and just stared at it, just really took in the amount that I'm going to take. I went on to meditate for 15 to 20 minutes, clearing my mind of anything negative, then went over and ate them around like 8:30 p.m. ish. Then me and my girlfriend went on the couch and watched Midnight Gospel. I kind of wasted a good majority of the trip watching it, but a few times when the show got too overstimulating, I would look to my right and there's like a half wall separating the living room that I'm in and the kitchen. And it would look like everything was getting sucked in behind the half wall, like everything stretching forever in the direction behind the wall. It also looked like my vision had a vignette filter or like a VHS filter without all the scratching and like static. And like multiple times throughout watching Midnight Gospel, I went to the bathroom. The bathroom is very white, with white and light gray tiles, with white walls, a white shower curtain, and white shower tiles. Turning on the bright light unleashed a bright, blissful, energizing light that, when bounced off of everything white in the bathroom, left behind a glistening rainbow tint over everything that only intensified with every time I went to the bathroom. After more Midnight Gospel, I felt as if I was becoming one with the couch and my girlfriend, who I was cuddling. After about another hour or so, she fell asleep on the other side of the couch, and I was bored and still had a little bit of peak left, so I wanted to smoke. I went to wake her up and ask if she wanted to smoke, and she was out cold, so I walked over to the garage where I had left my pipe and grinder and smoked a bowl, enjoying the visuals of the accidentally painted from years of spray painting garage floor, riddled with dead bits of grass and small sticks and leaves. I start to notice a cool hexagonal pattern appear before me throughout the entire floor, while the little sticks and grass blades are moving like little worms around the floor. Heavily intrigued by the way the visuals are looking, I pack another bowl and try to intensify it. I finish the bowl and cough like crazy. My eyes start watering and I need to blow my nose, so I got up and went back inside and fixed myself. Then got a drink of water. Then it felt like I needed to go to the bathroom again. So I walk in, do my business, and my left foot is slightly behind my right foot, like they aren't perfectly aligned toe to toe, so I giggle a little bit and say out loud like, "Damn, I'm a little tilted left." Then look at the toilet, and my visuals made it look like it's a little tilted left. So I start laughing harder and fall back against the wall because it was so funny. Then I tilt my head against the wall and see that the ceiling is a little tilted left because that's just how the house was built. And I lost it. I started laughing maniacally and face palming at how stupidly funny it was. After circling the bathroom trying to regain composure from the funniest joke I've ever seen in my life, I decide to test why it's so scary to stare into the mirror tripping. So I put my hands on the counter to keep balance and steady as I stare myself deeply into my soul. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I didn't see myself transform or anything like that, except for a minute I literally turned into a 3D cartoon but almost realistic version of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Then the white walls around me began turning into one background with no depth and only really cool looking static around me, and the static filled my eyes. The only thing I thought in that moment was, holy shit, whatever I saw would be a crazy album cover. I then tried to look into my own pupil, only to find that I physically could not focus on it. I would look at my pupil and my eye would just twitch less than a millimeter away from the center. And I thought I was about to discover like a crazy glitch in reality, or that like I'm about to see my consciousness, but none of that happened, so I backed further away from the mirror to try to get like a new perspective and see what else could happen. And as I backed up, I realized that I was incredibly slouched, or almost as like if my spine wasn't straight. So I kind of wiggled and like shifted the muscles and like bones in my back to perfect posture, and it felt like I was staring into some game customization setting for the character. I had immense control over every individual muscle in my body. I lift up my shirt to reveal the nicest my stomach has ever looked ever. I was blown away, like I was genuinely being rebuilt. And so after I fixed my back, I realized my head was a little bit more to the right side than the left. It looked like I had a lot more left shoulder than right, and the mushrooms definitely exaggerated it. But I literally focused all the muscles in my neck and shoulders to recenter my head. like just like pushed my neck over to the left more to recenter my head, and I literally looked like a new person in my eyes. Extremely confident, super healthy, perfectly symmetrical. Anyway, I remember that I still had my bowl out in the garage, so I go try to wake up my girlfriend again, as I knew she'd be upset if I didn't at least try to get her up, but she was still passed out. So I go to the garage and start smoking a little bit, trying my absolute best to think of nothing, feel nothing, but let the substances take full control. I finish my bowl, set it down, and just exist, focusing on the chaotic floor beneath me. Then the hexagonal patterns return with new shapes intertwined, and they start radiating an absolutely blissful version of the colors green, yellow, and blue, until eventually the entire floor is colored and the depth of the garage is completely non-existent, only a 2D landscape filled with these blissful colored patterns. I felt at peace, but quickly snapped out of it, maybe not even 2 seconds into being fully submerged in visuals. I remember being so bummed and wanting to return, but the patterns were gone for good. I still had the floor swirling and the stick worms crawling around, so I tried to smoke another bowl, and it didn't give me the same visuals, and it was almost like they were fading away. So I was getting upset, and I go up to get another mushroom. It was probably like a gram or so, but it looked really wicked and put me in some kind of sinister mindset as I chewed the shroom. Then I got caught in a time loop where I went out to smoke a bowl, didn't feel anything, went to get water, piss, try to wake up my girlfriend, eat another mushroom, go out to smoke a bowl, get a drink, piss, wake up my girlfriend, eat another mushroom. And like, it's like 2 a.m. at this point, and I start freaking out, thinking I'm going to just continue this cycle and be caught in a loop eating shrooms and tripping for the rest of my life. Like, I literally could envision my older self still tripping on mushrooms. Like the trip just didn't stop. So the only way I mentally could think of stopping the loop was to go throw up the final mushroom I took. Not the first one, because I did end up feeling that one, but the last 2 mushrooms I ate, I threw up. So I went into the bathroom, kneeling over the toilet, gagging myself to throw up, and the AC turns on, and it's incredibly loud in my head, and things are going chaotic, and I just had a feeling the last piece of mushroom came out when the AC just stopped, because everything stopped being chaotic, and I literally felt the loop break. I look into the toilet, and the mushroom throw up is literally in form of a cartoon mushroom, and it truly, in that moment, felt like a sign from the mushroom gods to not fuck with them. So I laughed it off, as I thought that shit was so cool and crazy. Then I went to shake my girlfriend violently awake to tell her to come to bed, and she did. So we just laid, and I had a really peaceful sleep, but no dreams or visuals. I ended up falling asleep at like 4:30ish. But it was just a really beautiful trip. I enjoyed the visuals. I've done psychedelics before, so I would say I'm somewhat experienced in the field. But I didn't even get like a stomachache from the mushrooms, or I didn't have a single bit of fear in me the entire trip. It was just pure bliss and joy, and it was just a good time. But that about wraps it up for this story. It was just a good trip with some crazy visuals and just beautiful and blissful. But yeah, if you did end up enjoying my video, please remember to like my shit, comment on my shit, subscribe to my shit, follow my other shit. I got a TikTok, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify will come eventually. But yeah, go listen to my music. Go check out my TikToks. Anyway, thanks for watching. Deuces. Shawty see me, then she drop a top, but I walk it off like it's nothing more than a sneeze or cough. Cause I've been taught not to fuck around with a thought, just fuck around and buy a shot, light another bowl of pot, don't get caught, but I'll never stop, never gonna flop, making this my job, getting caught up by the ops, just smoking in the parking lot. Question, but we never talk, up until they bring the dog that took it all, but left a bong with that.